guys, it's Bryony. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm feeling really magical at the moment actually because I've gone back to unicorn hair, which I love. But today's video is actually really exciting because finally, after many years of activism from many people, we, as of this week, now have free menstrual products in all schools across England. Hallelujah. And not only are they offering free menstrual products to all schools, but within those menstrual products, they are also offering free reusables, which I think is super awesome. And I actually happen to have the reusable menstrual products that they're currently offering here with me that I already owned. And I thought it'd be a really great opportunity to show you what you can actually get through this scheme. So the way that this system works is that there's an intermediary that holds all the stock, which is the disposable products, eco-friendly disposables, and the reusable menstrual products. The schools then go and order it through the website, which keeps track of how much they bought and how much sort of credit I guess they have left, and then the schools get those products shipped directly to them. So this means that every school can have access to reusable menstrual products, and this isn't just including senior schools, this includes primary schools as well. So I thought it'd be really great to show you guys what reusable menstrual products are currently on offer through this system. So if you're someone who's currently in the English school system, or if you're a teacher at an English school, you can see what you can ask your school to get for you, either to show to your students or to use yourself if you are a student there. So even though it is super great that within this scheme they are offering reusable menstrual products, unfortunately at the moment they're only offering one type of menstrual cup and one type of cloth pad. Now it's great, as I said before, that they're offering this because they could have very easily skipped over reusables altogether and just gone with those disposables, which are by far the cheapest, but they're looking forward to being more sustainable, which means they are including more sustainable products, hence the disposable, eco-friendly disposables and the reusables. But I'm a little bit concerned because the cloth pads and the menstrual cup that they are currently offering are not what I would consider the best products for teenagers. Let me show you. So under the current scheme, if you would like to order a menstrual cup, the one that is currently on offer is this one, which is the Moon Cup UK. And if you're wanting to get some cloth pads, the current brand available is this one, which is Blue Menorah. So let me start with the menstrual cup, which is the Moon Cup UK. If you are someone that have been following me for a while, you will know exactly why I was concerned about this particular cup being the one available. If you were to ask me, out of all the menstrual cups I've ever tried, which one would I think is the least suitable for teenagers, it would be this one. It's a great cup. Moon Cup have been around for a long time. They have very much thrown the menstrual cup, I think, into the mainstream world. They are a fantastic company, got nothing against them whatsoever. It's a great quality menstrual cup. The shape and the style is just not the best for teenagers though. Let me show you why. So over the last 5 years or so, the number of menstrual cups has exploded on the market. It's over 100 now, I reckon. And each of those cups are different sort of shape and size and has different quirks. The Moon Cup has a very thick rim, as you can see at the top here. This bit is very solid and very thick. This causes an issue because for a lot of younger people that use menstrual cups, they need to do something called the hot dog in a bun method, which is basically where you squeeze the base of the cup to fold it in on itself, so it kind of folds up into this sort of C shape where there's a dip at the top here. It makes it easier to take out, and it means that the menstrual cup doesn't hit the urethra, which is very painful. Now I can actually personally attest to this because this was the first ever menstrual cup I used at 15. And it was slightly traumatizing because when I was taking it out, I didn't know about this folding method and I pulled it and it was so painful. Also, it's a very strong cup, so when I was inserting it, I accidentally slipped the first time and it pinged open, and that hitting your urethra, ouch. I have since learned that you can basically turn this upside down and it pings the back of your vagina. It's not going to hurt anything. But when you're new, you're not going to know this stuff, and to teens, they're going to be experimenting for the first time and trying these cups out. And I just think it's quite a vicious cup to have as a first menstrual cup, which is why I was quite disappointed when I saw it was the one that's being offered in England. But in particular, this cup, because of its thick rim, you can't even do the hot dog in a bun method if you want to, because when you're squeezing at the base here, you can see, like, it doesn't fold up. Whereas if I grab another cup, this is my lunette cup, which I cut the stem off of. Now you can see if I hold this cup here, it folds up nice and easily. And I can do it like that, and it's going to fold here, so it's not going to hit my urethra when I take it out. But let's go back to the Moon Cup, and even when I'm pressing quite near the top here, it doesn't fold up into that C shape. I have to really press on the rim, so it just makes it a really tricky cup to remove. And it's one of the scariest things when you do for the first time is removing your menstrual cup, because it's nerve-wracking enough. People seem to think it like disappears up into their vagina. So that was what made me a bit concerned when I saw the Moon Cup was the one on offer. That being said though, it could be a really great demonstration cup. So if you're someone that's an educator at a school and you think you want to explain to your students what a menstrual cup is and introduce them to it, definitely think about getting some of these to show them, but bearing in mind that this particular brand probably isn't the best for them to try out actually physically with. But it's a good way to kind of introduce kids to the idea of reusables and to menstrual cups, so it could be good for that. I honestly could not count the number of emails I've got over the years from teenagers who've tried this menstrual cup out, have messaged me going, oh my goodness, it hurts so badly, please give me some advice, and I've had to explain to them actually this isn't the right cup for them. I couldn't even count like how many it's been. It's been a huge number, so it wasn't just me that struggled with it. But if you are currently in the English school system and you do want to give a menstrual cup a try, and this is the only one that you can get access to, you can still get it and give it a go. Just bear in mind it's probably going to take a little bit more practice to get used to it, and try and take on board all those tips that I've shared through some of my other videos for using a menstrual cup, and you might be able to get it to work. But if it doesn't work for you, just bear in mind that it's probably this cup that doesn't work for you, and not that menstrual cups won't work at all. So that's something I think is really important to bear in mind with this whole system, that just because the one you try doesn't work doesn't mean that they're all not going to. And then we have the pads, which are Blue Menorah. Now this is a little bit more positive because these pads are perfectly good. They work well. I've used them myself. They even come with this little wet bag, which this wet bag is really good actually because it snaps together. It's a double-sided wet bag, opens up, and then you can have a wet side and a dry side like that. And then it just folds up nicely into this sort of shape and easy to store in a bag. So you could put like 2 dry and 2 wet in here, I think, throughout the day and kind of move them over. So it's a really good little bag that you could take to school with you. And then you have the pads themselves. Now, like I said before, they're absolutely fine. I wouldn't say they're the best pads in the world, but if you're somebody that's wanting to try cloth pads, you definitely could start out with these. If I was to give my advice, so the Blue Menorah, they come in 2 sort of different toppings. This fleece topping, which comes in a number of colours, and then this suede top, which only comes in white. If I had to give my personal advice, if you were bulk buying some of these or buying a whole load in, I would go with the suede cloth for one reason. It's much more trim. If I show you, like with this one, for example, just how bulky this pad is, like it is so bulky. A lot of teens don't like the bulkiness when it comes to cloth pads because it kind of feels like you're wearing a nappy, which isn't a lot of fun. And I have to say I don't particularly like bulky pads, and these are a very bulky one. But the white ones are a little more trim, so if I fold this one over, you can see, I mean, this is a lighter pad, slightly lighter pad than this one, but you can just see the difference in how thick they are. So this one is a great one to go with. Also, this material is called suede cloth, and it's a wicking fabric, so when you bleed on it, the blood will go straight in and be absorbed by the inner core fabric, which I think is terry toweling. I might be wrong on that one. But that means that the top is left feeling dry. So this is probably the best one to go with if you've got children who are interested in trying cloth pads. It's going to be the one I think that's going to work for the most of them. That being said, however, one thing to bear in mind and to look out for, you may hear it from your students if you're a teacher, or if you are a student using it, you might notice this yourself, is finding these pads hot and sweaty. This is a very synthetic-y pad. So the suede cloth is polyester and the back is PUL, which is polyester. So it's not very breathable. So what you'll find is you may feel, like I said before, quite hot and sweaty with these particular pads. And because they're a shiny back, they might shift around a bit. If that's the case, put a pair of extra underwear over the top. That'll hold it in place. It's not going to do much about the heat situation, but it's a good way to sort of introduce yourself to using cloth pads. And as I said, there's nothing wrong with the brand, but just something to look out for, because you can have brands which are sort of cotton topped and they might work better for some of the kids. There's no point in trying these ones out instead, because this is fleece, this is going to be even hotter, but these ones, they should be the best. So like I said before, I think it's super great that UK schools can now access reusable menstrual products and that they have now made their way into sort of the mainstream world. I think what we need to keep doing now is pushing the momentum behind reusables and letting people know, hey, we want to use them, but these ones aren't working for us. So if you do try a reusable product, one of these 2, and it doesn't work for you, but you still want to use them, do tell your school, because then they can actually tell the intermediary, the place that the distributor they're buying from, that they want other ranges available, and that there is more interest in reusable, and then they'll be able to stock more ranges. So that's just really important to bear in mind. If you do want more, to put pressure on your school, maybe you've got some friends you can get together with and tell your school, hey, we want to try the reusable menstrual products, but we don't think they're offering enough. Could you please tell them that from us, that we want more? and then hopefully the schools will pass that on. And if you work in a school, then maybe you could pass that on as well. And whilst it's really great that they are offering reusables, and those of you who want to use them and can use them can now access them, I think it is really important that they are offering disposable too. Unfortunately, we have such bad poverty in the UK at the moment that there are places where a lot of parents don't have access to things like reliable washing machines or safe sanitary places to clean cloth pads and menstrual cups, and the electricity is not sustainable. So reusables is never going to be the answer to everything here, but I think it is really important that they are included and that we keep growing the range available so that those people who can access them and do want to can get them. But equally, we do need the disposables for those people who unfortunately at the moment can't use reusables, and we have to make sure we're accommodating everyone's needs. So I think it's a great step forwards, and we have to remember that this is designed to try and tackle period inequality so that everyone has the right to go to school without having to worry about starting their periods and how they're going to finance it, and that's what this is ultimately doing. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please do subscribe, and if you do try out these products and they don't work for you and you want to try some others, don't forget I sell cloth pads and menstrual cups on my website, Precious Stars, link is down below, and I will see you next week, guys. Bye bye.